What is a survival knife? Well, a survival knife is something that can be taken with you in the case of an inevitable situation or even just a fishing trip. And this knife should be capable of doing simple tasks like batoning wood in order to create kindling, skinning animals that you may find on a hunting trip, or even simple tasks that involve starting fires like making tinder and throwing a spark, or in the case that you need to defend yourself, you may find yourself needing a good survival knife that's capable of fighting bears or just chopping things in general. My name is Andrew. I am a rancher, a marksman, an outdoorsman, and a bladesmith. I've spent most of my life seeking adventure in one way or another, or in one place or another, and I would like to share all of that with you. Hey guys, what is going on? So today I got some good news. Doctor said that I am free and clear to start exercising. For those of you that don't know, I was diagnosed with pericarditis maybe about 6 to 8 months ago, which means that I have inflammation of the lining around my heart. And being told that I'm finally able to exercise and do physical things is really, really exciting for me. It means I can actually go back out and start doing things in the forest again. To celebrate, I have made myself a new survival knife. So this is something that's sort of taking the best things from my previous iterations, and I have two here to show you as examples. So my first survival slash bushcraft knife here had a G10 handle, a big nice thick blade here, long but not too long. I think this comes in at about 5.5 inches for the blade length, and then it had a standard bevel here with no false edge on the top, which means that the penetration of this knife actually wasn't that great. This one actually had a lanyard hole in it, and while the G10 grip does look nice, it's actually not very grippy. So I went from this and I decided to redesign to my latest iteration of a survival knife. And that was this one right here with a spear point on it and a false edge on the front to increase penetration. Plus on the front of the handle, I added a bit of a guard to prevent you from slipping down onto the blade in the case that you did have to stab something or put your knife into a stump or something like that. Blade's just as thick as the previous one, has a nice little thumb grip on it. Problem is now that we have a thinner blade, this was a lot of fun and it's definitely a lot grippier, as you can see right here, but you just can't swing it. You can't chop anything with it. So I went back to the drawing board with this. And also, it didn't even have a lanyard hole on it, which some people pointed out so cleverly. My next iteration is this. This is my newest survival knife. So it's actually about 1.5 inches longer than both of them, but you'll see that this in some ways is similar to this knife right here. I kept the guard on the front, so you can protect yourself should you decide to stab this into a stump, or maybe you're in a self-defense situation and you just don't want to slip when you're fighting that bear. But it is longer, which means you have that swinging capability that I just did not have with my previous iteration. And I do have a slight false edge on the front, giving it some penetrative ability. And you may notice that the blade itself actually gets just a little bit wider out towards the front. Also, all of my other knives for survival have always been completely straight. This one has a very, very slight tilt forward once you exit the handle, giving this that swinging ability. I also brought back the lanyard hole, and I made my lanyard a little bit bigger than I usually do on other knives to just compensate for the fact that maybe somebody else could use this knife who was a larger wrist than me. And all you got to do is, turn your wrist around a couple times, and you have a nice, secure grip on there. Another addition that I haven't put on any other knives before is just a little bit of metal sticking out the back of the handle. And you can use that in the case you just need to thump on pretty much anything. And that being a small piece of metal takes all your force and amplifies it into this nice tiny little space there, which means you can crack open nuts, you can hammer in a nail, break a window, something like that. The choice for the handle on this one is different. The others have always been G10. This is micarta, and it is a natural canvas micarta, making it incredibly grippy. I could get this covered in dish soap and it still grips. So there's no need really for any texture on this. And while it is a plain looking knife, that is what a survival knife should be. Something that is a knife first, and then as far as aesthetics go, it doesn't really matter. Just needs to function and be reliable. So nice, thick, solid, heavy duty knife. A little bit longer than I've done in the past, but I've already tested this out and it is one hell of a knife.